Hello everyone, this is Mr. Chappa, and I'm making a real quick video to show you how to get registered for the online homework. Registration in the online homework is mandatory for this class, both the Math 0314 class and the Math 1314 class. For both the support class 0314 and the credit class 1314, there will be assignments inside of McGraw-Hill campus. So let me show you how to get there. And don't worry about having to purchase materials or getting an access code. The course fees for the support class, Math 0314, include a fee that purchases your access to the online homework platform. So all you have to do is register, jump in, and get started. Although I did type some instructions here in the Getting Started module for registering for McGraw-Hill campus, I wanted to demonstrate it real quick and show you what will happen once you register. Now, to do this, you'll click on McGraw-Hill campus. Right now, I'm in student view. If I click on it, I'll get an error since I'm not actually a student in my class. So I'm going to have to leave student view and then click on it and then show you what would happen once you get in as a student. So I'm going to leave the student view. Now you see my side of things. Click on McGraw-Hill campus, and it's going to show something like this, and I'll click ALEKS. Now, the first time you go in here, you're going to set up an account. I can't go through the student registration process because I can't register as a student, but I can show you, I can show you what it will look like once you actually get your account set up. So I'm about to go into ALEKS, McGraw-Hill campus, if you will, as if it were the first time I created an account and jumped in. It's going to take you through some introductory material and tell you a little bit about ALEKS. But to be honest with you, what ALEKS does is it analyzes your skill set and then builds a plan for you to get better at that skill set. When you create your account, the first thing that will happen is a Take the Tools tutorial. This tutorial will walk you through how to type in certain answers. For example, this just says type 14, and then you want to clear it and then undo, et cetera, next. And it gets a little bit more detailed than that, like typing in fractions and so on and so on. You don't have to go through the entire tools tutorial. I would recommend it, especially if you've never done online homework before in a math class, because a lot of it is fairly intuitive, but you might want to consider going through it. I'm going to skip it so I can show you what happens next. Once you skip the tutorial, or excuse me, once you get through the tutorial, you'll unlock what's called an initial knowledge check. Everybody will do this once at the beginning of the course. It's going through this again. Yeah, we already did that. And then we're going to do the initial knowledge check. It is required that you go through this before you can do anything else. The knowledge check is just a series of questions for the website to ascertain where your strengths and weaknesses are, and then it builds a plan for you to shore up your weaknesses. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this. Stay focused, don't get distracted. Pencil and paper. It is more important that this initial knowledge check accurately gauge your standing in terms of math than it is to get a certain score. It doesn't matter if you get a 0, 100, or anything in between. Let it do its job to figure out where your strengths and weaknesses are. So when you get started, it's going to give you some things of what to come. There's a calculator. You can choose I don't know, only if you don't know how to solve the problem. And then you start it, and it'll ask you about, I don't know how many questions, 20 or 25 or so. You may know how to do them, you may not. For example, you may know how to factor this. Don't worry about why the answer is what it is. It's not going to tell me if it's right or wrong. Well, it'll tell me to use the correct variable. How nice of it. And it won't tell you if it's right or wrong. In the background, it knows because it's building a profile for you to see what you do and what you don't know. For example, let's say you don't know how to solve this. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure because fractions are scary. Simplify that. Don't know how to do that. Let's see. Find h of 4. Oh, I remember things like this. You stick the number in and work it out. We'll get 16 over -3. So 16 over -3. And you keep going. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Now, I am going to skip this to show you what will happen next, but you will want to go through and answer what you can. Don't answer what you can't. Even if you're not sure if your answer is right, put the answer in anyway, because it's it's ascertaining your skills based on how many correct answers you submit, how many answers you submit, and how many you leave blank. So if you think you know how to do a question, go ahead and put an answer in, even if you're not sure if it's right. But I'm going to skip this for now and say that I have little knowledge of college algebra with co-requisite support. And at the end, what it will do is it will show you this pie. Now, each slice of this pie represents each of these topics over here. And if you click on a slice, it will tell you, all right, you've mastered 4 topics. You've had to learn 0 more. There's 1 more remaining. And if you notice, it says I've mastered 9 out of 110 topics, which is only 8% of the pie, because I said I pretended that I knew very little. When you continue, it will walk you through. Why does it go through this every single time? Yeah, I know this. I don't know why it's showing this every single time. Can I get started? Thank you. And then it'll walk you through some things. This is your personal pie. Click a slice to get more information. Oh, look, I've mastered 2 and I got 27 topics remaining. I've mastered nothing out of this. And again, I didn't actually answer a bunch of questions. I just pretended I didn't know anything. You've almost unlocked your learning path. Click a timeline, but frankly, I would always keep it on the pie. Main menu, notifications, what to do next. You can read all these. I'm not going to bother going through them right now for this video. But I would recommend clicking this and putting it back on the pie, because in the support class, you have 4 pie goals throughout the semester. If you click the number in the middle here, once you've gone through the initial knowledge check, it will change it to the percent of the pie that is filled. During the semester, there are certain dates by which you need to get this percent up to a certain amount. And if you meet that goal, you'll get 100 that day. If you don't meet that goal, you'll get a grade based on how close to the goal that you got. But to increase the amount of pie that's filled and raise this percent, when you log in, you can always click Start My Path. And when you click Start My Path, ALEKS will pick a topic to review. It will give you a question. It will give you an explanation. And then once it does that, it will ask you to try some. Now, if you get a question correct, this bar will start filling up. And you can use explanation, but it won't count against you. So for example, let's say you wanted to add these and you would get, I'm just going to think out loud for a second. Common denominator is 30, 27 on top of the first, 25 on top of the second, 27, 25 is 52. It's 52 over 30. That reduces to 26 over 15. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I hope it is. Excellent. Keep on going. Now, here's one neat thing about working on the pie and mastering more topics. You get a bonus if you get a streak of correct questions. The first correct question gets you 1 bar, but if I get the next one correct, it's actually going to fill 2 bars to give me a reward for having back-to-back correct answers. For example, if I want to do 8/9 minus 3/4, again, pardon me while I think out loud. Common denominator is 36. Hit this with 4s to make the top of 32. Hit this with 9s to make that a 27. 32 minus 27 is 5, and the common denominator was 36. Now watch this bar up here at the top. It should fill in twice. 1 second, should fill in twice. 2 in a row because I got double credit. And if you get 3 in a row, it's going to complete it and it will fill more of the pie. Now, if you get one wrong, it's going to back you up. For example, let's say this answer is 1/2. I doubt it is. Check. Oh no, try again. It took me down a bar. All right, so you do the math. And now let's do it for real. Common denominator is 40. That's going to be 15 minus 12. It's 3 out of 40. And then now it's only going to give me 1 bar because my streak was broken. But on the next one, if I can keep the streak going, I'll get 2. So we'll try one more. We'll get it right. And I want to show you what happens afterwards. Common denominator is 28. So it's 21 plus 8 is 29. 29 out of 28. Check it. 2 in a row, double credit, and notice that the bar is completely full. And when I hit next, it will tell me a couple of things. Number 1, I got a topic done, and number 2, I'm working towards my time goal. 2 hours per week is your time goal. That accumulates whenever you're working on anything, whether it's homework, whether it's practice for the support class, or even if it's the initial knowledge check or working on the pie. Now, yay! Continue my path. Let's go back to the home page. You notice my pie went up a little bit. It went up to 9%. I've now mastered 9 and learned 1 out of 100, and there's 100 topics remaining. Again, there's going to be 4 dates for pie goals. I want to say the first one's on February 13th, and I want to say that goal is either 20% or 25%. You may already hit that when you do the initial knowledge check. I've seen people get this up to about 65% just from the initial knowledge check. But throughout the semester, one of the things you're going to be required to do for the support class, for the Math 0314 class, is to continue on this path and continue filling this pie up, trying to hit each goal, each of the 4 goals throughout the semester. And I'll remind you of this throughout the semester, but I wanted to show you that. The other thing I wanted to show you is that this is also where your homework will live. You access the homework by clicking on this menu and clicking on assignments, and you'll see a variety of things there. You'll see a weekly required time. Once you hit 2 hours, this will be 100%. That goes every week. Don't hit the 2 hours, it'll be less than 100%. There will be a weekly work assignment for the support class 0314, and there will be a homework assignment for the credit class. Sometimes it will be more than one homework assignment in a given week, but there will only be one weekly work for the support class. Your pie goal is here. I'm 36% of the way to my first pie goal. I got an 8% on the initial knowledge check, but that's not counted as part of your grade. There will be some reviews later. So to access the weekly work for the support class, you go in here. Remember, the weekly work in the support class is reviewing topics to get you ready to do the work in the credit class. So the things that you do in here will help you do this homework here. You do have unlimited attempts on each homework assignment, so that's good. All right, so I just wanted to show you where to find those things. If you have any questions, please contact me. You should have my cell phone number by now. If not, I'll make sure it's available in Canvas.